Eastern PA Weather 30 meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for August 31st, 2017. Today is the final day of meteorological summer, and of course the last day of the month of August. We have Tropical Storm Harvey, or what is going to be left of it, that's going to be moving toward the region in a much weaker capacity. That's going to be over the weekend. At first, though, we have this trough that's digging down here like this. Some very chilly air up in this behind this cold front. Could be some thunderstorm activity out ahead of it, but mainly for our northern sections. Some of it may get into our central, maybe even southern. We'll see. This doesn't look like a really big deal today, but this trough will eventually pick this system up, the remnants of Harvey, and send it toward our area. And that'll most likely be on Saturday. Kind of favoring afternoon right now and overnight, but that really doesn't look like it's too big of a deal for our area. Certainly no flooding to deal with in this region. Let's go over to the NAM high-res future simulated radar. I'm going to start this off at 2 p.m. today, and you have these just some widely scattered or very isolated shower, maybe a shower or a thunderstorm moving to the southeast, and you can see by 4 p.m. we're looking like this. Here's 5, I guess, for our central areas, and maybe some leftover stuff here as we head to the early evening hours. This is 7, and this is 8, and then it kind of just fizzles apart. So really not too much of a difference. Not too much of in the way of precipitation today. In some areas will actually stay dry. It's not like a solid line, but there will be a push of cooler air that comes in overnight tonight, and the winds will shift to the north when that does so. So you will definitely feel a change once that moves off to the south. It will still be warm today, so you're going to feel a big difference from today to tomorrow, because once this moves through, we have much cooler high pressure off to the north, and that's going to have give us northerly winds, and highs on Friday are probably not going to get out of the 60s for many locations, and may just barely crack the 70-degree mark, get in the lower 70s down here by Philadelphia. But otherwise, most areas are mid-upper 60s, maybe some areas hitting 70, 72, but not in the southern areas, but that's about it. This, of course, is the remnants of Harvey moving to the Tennessee Valley. You'll see as it moves eastward, though, it just loses a lot of its steam, and a piece of this is going to break off and head eastward. Looks like Friday night. We're going to remain dry, we think. We'll have to watch our southern areas, Delaware, southern New Jersey, for some showers to come in overnight. Friday night, but looks like the rest of us are going to get into it during the day here on Saturday. Might come in the morning. Timing's still a little goofy on this yet with several different pieces of model guidance, but you can see this has pretty much rained itself out at this point. So this is just showers that we're talking about on Saturday, and that goes into Saturday night especially. Another round comes through with the actual low pressure overnight Saturday night. And then here is very early Sunday. This what any leftover morning clouds or showers are going to pull away, and Sunday will actually turn out to be one of those partial clearing days. Clouds in the morning, maybe a leftover shower, and then partial clearing in the afternoon as the system ramps up and heads up into New England. It will actually be over Maine by the time we get to Sunday evening. So heck of a trek here from landfall that we had last Friday, and finally getting up to now Sunday evening, getting up to the state of Maine. So obviously the flooding is over down in that area, thankfully, so they can finally start to recover a little bit. Once we get into Monday, this is Labor Day, winds are going to shift to the southwest, and you can see the isobars kind of going in this direction like this. So that means we're going to get warmer. Temperatures should be near or slightly above normal on Monday for our Labor Day, but we're not expecting any precipitation whatsoever. Probably a little bit warmer by the time we get to Tuesday. Another front's going to be dropping down from the northwest, and it could give you an isolated late day storm, especially favoring the interior locations, but we're also going to be very warm this day, so temperatures are going to be probably upper 80s down here in the Philadelphia metro, but elsewhere looking at probably mid 80s for highs here on Tuesday. Going a little bit further from this, we're going to one more day here. This is the same front's going to slow up, and the reason for that is out in the Atlantic here, there's a very strong ridge, very strong northern Atlantic ridge that is actually going to steer a tropical storm that developed. I'll talk about that in a second. But this ridge off of these is going to slow this front up enough so that we'll have a wave of low pressure moving along it looks like, and bringing us more scattered showers and thunderstorms here on Wednesday. So that is the extent of our 7-day forecast. But I do want to bring attention to this was formerly Invest 93L. It is now Tropical Storm Irma. This is the real Irma now. If you look closely, this is way out in the Atlantic here, and this is a zoomed up shot here. But you can see it's come together pretty well, and is now a tropical storm. These are the Cabo Verde Islands. This is off the west coast of Africa. So this is thousands of miles away, and has a long trek across the Atlantic. It's going to take probably about a week or so. So we're not talking about us getting any, or at least the U.S. mainland being threatened until probably the beginning of the second week of September. That's when we need to start watching for this. And there are some model projections that take this into near the Leeward Islands, Puerto Rico, in that vicinity, and then into the southern Bahamas as we get out in time. So this could be something that really needs to be paid attention to, because some models are indicating this is not going to be a weak system. This is going to be a very strong system, major hurricane, as a matter of fact. So we need to keep close eyes on this. Because there's a lot of different models suggesting this will happen, and the ensemble guidance that could do a bunch of different things. It might not even be in this location, but the general track across the Western Atlantic is what we're keying on right now. This could end up going in the Atlantic, could affect the southeastern U.S. coastline. It could do one of these numbers and recurve. Might come up the coast, give us some remnant rains. A lot of different things can happen with it. I just want to keep it in the back of your mind for now. Obviously, at a ridiculously far range to really take anything seriously, but this is something we'll be able to watch for a long time, and you'll definitely be able to be prepared for it if, in fact, it does affect anywhere along the coastline or the Gulf of Mexico or what have you. So a lot of time to look at this is probably the early part of the second week of September, where any U.S. mainland impacts will be felt. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. That is your outlook for August 31st, 2017. Have a great Thursday.